Welcome to episode 1 of this brand new baseball podcast that I will be releasing here at Full Count Pros. Today, just to give you the outline of what we're talking about tonight, we will be talking about some World Series reactions and free agency and a bunch of other stuff. So I hope you enjoy. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and please click that like button. It means a lot. Alright. Now, diving right in, we're going to be talking about some big free agents, starting with Nelson Cruz. One of the biggest questions going into the 2019 MLB season, where should Nelson Cruz sign? Where will the dynamic designated hitter be signing? Now, I do understand this man is 38 years old. He has played only 9 games in the field in the last 2 years of his MLB career. And he's slowing down. While I'll admit he is slowing down, he's still batting like many all-star players in their early 30s. He's still batting great, though he's 38. But I do not think any team should sign him for more than 2 years. And that's because I just think he is slowing down, and teams need to be aware of that. But let's dive right into the 4 teams I think that would be interested in him. While I've already established has only played 9 games in the field in the last 2 years and that he's never been much of a fielder, this means that National League teams aren't really looking deeply into considering signing him because while it's important to have a good hitter on your team, you also don't want a bad outfielder. So, all 4 of the teams are American League teams: the Rays, Astros, Twins, and Mariners. And let's dive into why I think these teams could use him. First of all, to start with the Rays. The Rays had an unexpected 2018 season as they compiled 90 wins. Blake Snell put on an amazing season, worthy of the Cy Young Award over Chris Sale. Yes, I've caught you off guard. And the hitting was great over in Tampa Bay this season, unexpectedly. Nelson Cruz, though, could really help batting designated hitter. While these hitters in Tampa Bay and back in Florida, while they were successful in the 2018 season, they do not have a lot of power on their team, and Nelson Cruz could definitely provide as a successful cleanup player and could definitely help them with their power problem. And I think that Tampa Bay could truly, if they keep up what they've been doing, Blake Snell puts on another Cy Young worthy team and the hitters activate their bats even more, I think it's possible they could go to a wild card. I do not think that this team will be able to get ahead, though, of the Boston Red Sox, and I think it would be a big surprise to see them go ahead of the New York Yankees. Now, with the Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins they had a rough year, we'll just say, this last 2018 season. While I will admit they didn't do terrible, they did not do well. So we'll just state that clearly. Cruz could definitely help patch up the team. While they do have some good hitting compiled by Miguel Sano and Robbie Grossman and a couple other guys, they do really need help with the hitting. And Nelson Cruz could really help with that. While he has a power bat, which would really help the Twins' power situation, and he could also compile some good batting average for them, as he had great batting average with the Seattle Mariners this past season. Now, the Astros. Evan Gattis announced he would be leaving the Astros a couple days ago, and while the Astros could just put what's his name? Tyler. I'll think of it later. But I could put Tyler, whatever his last name is. I'm sorry, I can't remember it. and that would work great as he had a action-packed, fun season last year. Nelson Cruz, I think, would be a better option, more power, maybe not a better batting average, but he's going to hit 20 more homers than this Tyler guy can. I'm embarrassed and sorry to say that I cannot remember this Tyler guy's name. Move on. Why he could be in Seattle again? Well, he's already proved at Safeco Park Field, considered a hitter's park, that he can really slug that ball out of the stadium. And Nelson Cruz, he could lead the Mariners to the playoffs potentially. They almost had it last year, but the last 2 months, they just fell backwards and weren't able to accomplish it. But if they improve their pitching, maybe get rid of Mike Zunino and Kyle Seager and get better replacements, they could really make something happen. They could make the team go to the playoffs for the first time since 2001, back when Ichiro Suzuki was a rookie, and back in the days of Edgar Martinez and Jamie Moyer. But let's continue to our next point. Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, one of the most dynamic hitters of the days of late, has had a great 6 seasons with the Washington Nationals. But his free agency is done, and it is evident that he will not be re-signing with Washington. And so, the big question of late by the MLB and all the fans is, where will the future Hall of Famer sign? Where will he go? And there's only a couple teams that could really pay him as much money as he would ask for and what he would deserve. I think one obvious option for him here would be the Yankees. And I know that ticks all of you off, but let's get real. The Yankees have all the money here in the MLB, and they could definitely make something like that work with Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper could finally get to the World Series potentially as one of his goals. And the Nationals, though they had Bryce Harper, an MVP, and a man who in 2015 had the second highest batting average, he hasn't been able to lead his team past the National League Division Series. And it would be special for him to be able to play with the New York Yankees, but it would also, the Yankees, that would be a powerhouse. You have something like this. Imagine this. You have Brett Gardner leading off. Next in your lineup, you have Aaron Judge. Then you have Bryce Harper. Then you have Giancarlo Stanton. Now you have Miguel Andujar. You have Gleyber Torres. And the list just goes on and on with all of these all-stars and future all-stars and all these players that have won very prestigious awards. All these players that have had fantastic careers and are having fantastic careers now in the prime of their careers, all on one team. And if you're asking me who I think will win the World Series if Bryce Harper signs, I think the Yankees are in the top 3 for sure, as they pretty much always are. And I think that Bryce Harper will sign with the New York Yankees. Now, Manny Machado, the next big free agent. We wonder who he will sign with. Now, Baltimore this season, well, Buck Showalter, Orioles manager, he thought at the beginning of the season, despite having the opportunity to trade Machado early on, he thought the Orioles could actually compete. Now we know how wrong he was, as the Orioles lost approximately 110 games. Ooh, going deep for the number 1 overall pick in 2019 draft, and he thought they could compete. But anyway, to move on, Manny Machado, where will he go? Well, after the All-Star break and after having a great first half of the season with the Baltimore Orioles, Machado was traded for two prospects, including Yasmani Diaz, a hot prospect who I think could definitely help the Orioles. Manny Machado played for the Dodgers, led them to the World Series, although they did lose against the Red Sox 4-1. But Machado helped the team. He did very successful. But will he re-sign with the Dodgers? Here's the thing. I don't think he will. As of just a couple hours ago, I read an article that he said goodbye to the Dodgers in the clubhouse, which represents to me that he's likely not going to sign with them. I think an obvious choice is, I know, the New York Yankees. No, the New York Yankees. I'm not joking. Which proves my point that if he also, along with Bryce Harper, signs with the New York Yankees, Yankees will no doubt about it win the World Series. But there's great potential that he could sign somewhere else. But I think it's either Dodgers or Yankees. And I think if Machado does sign with the Dodgers, he's a very good player playing in the prime of his career. He's a Gold Glover 2 times, a 4-time All-Star, and a Silver Slugger award winner. But the Dodgers also have a very good shortstop in Corey Seager, who will be returning next season. And you can't have an all-star player like that sitting on the bench the whole year. So what will they do with Seager? What would they do with Seager? So I think to make this work, if the Dodgers did sign Manny Machado, they would have to trade away Corey Seager for prospects maybe. But the Dodgers wouldn't need prospects. Maybe they could make Seager a pinch hitter or something. Problem is, he has Gold Glove potential, and you can't have a Gold Glover pinch hitting or batting DH like that has happened in the American League before. A prime example being Rafael Palmeiro, who once won a Gold Glove after playing only like 20 games at first base. Anyway, though, we're getting off track, so let's get back on track with Manny Machado. I think it's either Yankees, Dodgers. Nothing is certain with this. But where will Craig Kimberly go? Now you might wonder. And I don't know for sure where Craig Kimberly will go. He's very good, but I also would like to expose Craig Kimberly. Now, I do not have the clip, and if I showed you the clip, the video might be taken down for copyright reasons. So I wish I could show you the clip, but I can't. But in the last game of the American League Division Series against the Yankees this season, the Boston Red Sox hard thrower, he had a rosin spot on his hat, and he had a substance on his arm, which was pointed out by a fan, and it looks pretty clear that he had pine tar. Now, which brings me into a big question for the MLB. Should pitchers be allowed to use foreign substances? And tell me your opinion in the comments if you feel you would like to. I'd love to read your comments. But here's what I think. And I think no, I think baseball should be an all-ability-based sport. I don't think that drugs or substances should be allowed to be used. And I think it's cheating. I think he was cheating. But where will Kimbrel sign? I think it's easy to say he could likely just sign with the Red Sox again. They have the money that could pay him and that kind of stuff. And I think that the Red Sox could use him again to go to the playoffs. And, yeah. But, so I think he should sign with the Red Sox. Now, World Series reactions. Red Sox win 4-1. Stephen Pierce wins World Series MVP after Pierce had an amazing performance on World Series week with 4 home runs, 2 in the last game of the World Series, which led the Red Sox to eventual victory against the powerhouse Dodgers. How do I feel about Stephen Pierce getting the MVP? I think that he was definitely worthy of the award, and I was not surprised that the Red Sox beat the Dodgers. I did not expect the Dodgers to be able to beat the Red Sox. As we all know, the Yankees could have beat the Dodgers. The Red Sox could have beat the Dodgers. The Astros could have beat the Dodgers. Maybe even the Indians could have beat the Dodgers. Thing is, the AL is stronger, and it's evident in that, well, you always had the same team for the last couple of years going to the World Series, the Dodgers. There's really no competition because everyone knows it's going to be the Dodgers. I know. But enough with that. We shall continue to our next segment, which is Mariano Rivera and Trevor Hoffman Award reactions. Mariners hard thrower Edwin Diaz for the AL received the Mariano Rivera, and I feel that he was completely worthy with a shocking 57 save season, which is tied with Bobby Thigpen for the second most in a single season in MLB history, only trailing Francisco Rodriguez's 62 in the 2008 season with the Los Angeles Angels. I think Diaz was totally worthy of the award. I feared that Kimberly might get it instead just because of his immense popularity. But Diaz won the award, rightfully so. And, yeah. And then for the NL, the Trevor Hoffman Award winner was Josh Hader, who put on a spectacular season. And it was just very enjoyable to watch him play. He did a very good job. And thank you for watching. We will have a MLB Awards video coming out, so predictions and reactions, then next video after that. And so stay tuned in and prepare to see those videos. If you're not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notifications bell. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.